Sagittarius, welcome back. Welcome in. How you doing? I hope everybody's having a beautiful day, beautiful night. All right, so if you haven't been with me before, hello, welcome in, Sagittarius. My name is Priscilla. I'm a psychic, medium, tarot reader, healer, empath, and I also have the gift of telekinesis, which I will give you an example of. Okay, I speak to my spirits. They're always with me, and I communicate. Of course, I channel them. I can talk to them just by channeling them in, and I also talk to them through my pendulum here. All right, so they're going to pick out the first several cards. All right, they wanted me to pick out from this deck, so I don't know. Let's see what messages Spirit has to give you, okay? Let me give you an example of my telekinesis. I am not going to move the bell, but I will move the clapper, okay? All right, so there's no tricks. I'm not a magician or anything like that. There's no AI. I don't even know how to do all that computer stuff. I'm old school. Okay, Sag? All right, so let's go. This is, if you have any questions, anything, or let me know. Comments or email me, all right? So I'm just going to do this with my mind, all right? I will move the clapper with my mind to, there it is, to ring the bell. Okay. All right. And also my hands can also move it as well. Okay. All right. That's just my mind. All right. Sometimes it, you know, it takes a lot for me to do that, but let's go with my hands. It's a little bit more easier with my hands for some reason. I don't know. All right, so it's been a few days since I've used, or since I've used my gifts or whatever. I just been working and stuff. Okay, so I'm glad I'm back, my beautiful Sagittariuses. Let's get down to the nitty-gritty and see what Spirit has to tell you. All right, Sagittarius, Spirit, what do you have to tell us, Sagittarius? What's going on with them right now? All right, let's see what's going on. This is either, this can be anywhere in your timeline. Of course, everybody has different lives and we're all on different timelines. So please take what resonates and leave the rest to who it belongs to or to the universe. Okay, I do private readings. My information is down below. All right, it's going to be either past, present, or future energies. Okay, again, my spirits are going to pick out the first several here, and then we will go with the tarot to see what messages that's out there for you, Sagittarius. Okay, let's go. What crowns you is the dragonfly, lighthearted and adapt, finding out and change things, coming to light and heal. Okay, so you might be seeing dragonflies for some of you. Okay, for some of you, you might be seeing dragonflies, but wheat. So for some of you, you eat wheat, but something about something coming to light. Something is definitely coming to light. Okay. All right, what's in the intuition for Sagittarius? What's in the intuition for Sag? Intuition. Sag. Addiction. All right, for some of you, somebody here has an addiction, or maybe somebody in your energy has an addiction. They're codependent on something. All right, maybe you found out about this. Maybe something's coming to light. You found out about something, somebody having some kind of addiction. All right. This says obsession and restraint, all right? Possession and control, emotional block, all right? So somebody probably has an emotional block here. Right now, I'm having an emotional block right now because my dog is making, he's eating every time that I start reading. They start doing this right in the beginning of my reads. I don't know, but Spirit always makes me hungry and my dogs hungry. It just always happens like that. I don't know why. If you go back in my couple of readings, it's always, when I start reading, they start eating. All right. All right. So she probably knew that I was getting annoyed. So, all right, let's continue. Addiction. All right. Maybe somebody finding out about some kind of addiction or something. All right. Somebody's codependent. Obsession and restraint. So maybe somebody's obsessed with you. Maybe somebody's controlling over you, and you're just finding out about this, and you're just like, I'll get to the bottom of that. All right. What is throat chakra here? What's the throat chakra saying for Sag? What's going on with Sagittarius? What's the throat chakra? What's the throat chakra for Sag? All right. It's swords and rose. Clarity, truth. Yeah, again, something that you found out. I'm getting something that you found out here. It could have been, again, with somebody's addiction or somebody being controlling or something like that. Yeah, it's definitely a loved one here. And you can be dealing with the water sign. Okay, Pisces, Scorpio, Cancer. All right, clarity and truth. Revelations, honor and protection, determination here. All right, maybe you're protecting yourself and you're healing from this water sign. Hold on one second, guys. I'm so sorry. Sorry, guys. Distractions. All right, so about the clarity and truth. What's coming up for you guys? Definitely something that's hidden that's definitely coming out, or you're going to get some clarity about something or someone. All right. Okay, and heart chakra. Let's see. Heart chakra. Sagittarius, heart chakra. Heart chakra. Let's go. Shock. All right. Something is going to be either shocking or something shocked you that happened, a sudden change, shocking news, a surprise and epiphany, or some kind of transformation here. Again, I feel like somebody definitely found something out, got some clarity, or had an epiphany, some kind of shocking news. Again, something came out to light. Maybe it was shocking, maybe it wasn't, but definitely transformed you. All right, now we got the chaser. Okay, fear of abandonment, chasing, codependencies. All right, again, it says codependent right here, and it says codependencies. So something about codependencies, guys, either on each other, okay? This can be with, a person, or it can be a thing. It can be anything, Maybe you're this person, fear of abandonment. I'm getting that for some reason. Fear of change, fear of abandonment, fear of being alone, maybe. Okay, for some of you. All right, what's the sacred chakra for? Sacred. All right. Your love, yeah, your love. All right, this is your love chakra here. Get back out there, meeting someone new, setting a date online. All right, if you're single, they're saying, Spirit is saying, get back out there. All right, date online, go online, get out there right now. Meet someone new. All right, because this other person, the chaser right here. All right, they just want you to chase them. That's all they want you to do. They just want you to chase them. All right, that's it. They just don't want to be alone. So they rather, some people rather, be in miserable company than be alone. All right. Well, that's what that is. All right. So get back out there. Now, misery loves company. Okay. So, misery loves company. Somebody had to hear that. But yeah, you don't want to deal with somebody who wants to deal, who wants that. Okay. Misery loves company, so they're always going to be miserable. You got to be with people who are high vibrational, who are gonna, you know, always be on the high and be positive, to bring positive things. Because negativity, negative stuff, addictions or whatever, that just brings negativity into your life, and you're not gonna, you know, get the blessings that you need and deserve. Okay. So maybe you need to date somebody new. Spirit is probably, you know, get back out there. They're definitely telling you to meet someone new. All right. Grounding. What's grounding? And if you're in a good, you know, and if you're in a good relationship, then that's not for you. Then that, you know, message was not for you. Okay. Talking. All right. For some of you, talking. Interested. You're waiting in messages from them. Maybe talking more. Text, calls, emails. Maybe, you know, this person that, you know, for some of you, this person that, you know, you just started dating, you're waiting for them to call you back or something. Or for some of you, you're waiting for some kind of talking. This can be at work. This can be for work. This can be for a job, you know, that you're waiting for. This can be somebody that you love, that you're this is what roots and what, you know, somebody that you love, your family, you know, this can be your family. Okay. And what you don't see is teddy bear underneath the stack here. A blooming romance. All right. Interested in you. Flirting. Wants to date. So whoever that you're starting to date, for those of you, if you're starting to date someone, they're interested in you. All right. For sure. We got interested twice. They want to talk to you. All right, they're waiting for you to talk. They're either you're waiting for them or they're waiting for you. I'll take it where it resonates, but they're waiting for some kind of communication. All right, and they might be a big teddy bear. Okay, you might be scared or whatever, but they're a big teddy bear. I feel like somebody here is tall with brown hair, big stocky guy. You know, somebody who works probably in construction or something. I don't know. I'm getting that. All right, but oh wow. Okay. Okay, camera. But this person is definitely interested in you. All right, let's see what the cards say here. Let's see what the tarot says. It's a blooming romance. And they want to date. So if you think that somebody's interested in you, or you know, you guys just started dating, this is it. Okay. Ooh, money. 10 of Pentacles. Here we go. I don't know. The cards are not cooperating with me today. Maybe, you know, something is not cooperating with you today. Maybe something technical. I just heard a computer and copy machine. Something with a copy machine. I don't know. Some kind of electronic, something like that. All right. Sagittarius. What are we going to tell Sagittarius here? Sagittarius. What are you going to tell Sagittarius? What's this? Dragonfly. Things coming to light. Yeah. Things coming to light. Page of Pentacles. Okay, Page of Pentacles. A new job. A new job. Maybe somebody, you know, maybe somebody young. Maybe you found out something about, you know, somebody young in your family, a cousin or something like that. Somebody a youth. Maybe something came out to the light with them. It's going to be a teenager. Something came out to the light with them. Maybe they're starting a new job or something like that. All right. But we have, yeah, the Six of Swords. The Six of Swords, leaving behind baggage, moving forward. All right. For some of you, you're moving forward from this obsession, this, you know, this possessive, this emotional block. And look, we have the Eight of Swords in a reverse. So yeah, you've seen something. You've seen the light. You're no longer, you know, being a negative Nelly. You know, you're no longer, you know, you're no longer being negative. Positive mindset. There it is. Right above that is clarity and truth. That's right. You're determined. You're moving forward. You're leaving the baggage behind. Maybe grudges or something like that. What did I just say? Grudges? Five of Wands. Competition. Shocking news about, you know, surprises and epiphanies about this, you know, competition. This rivalry here. Jealousy. Yeah. Yeah, you're moving on to, you know, Knight of Pentacles. This is that person of fear of abandonment here. Four of Pentacles, holding back money. Feel like somebody, you know, somebody's either saving their money right now to you know, maybe you're saving your money. For some of you, maybe for, you know, to go on a date or something like that. For some of you, you know, you're breadcrumbers, like they're, you know, you don't want to share. I feel like with this whole, you know, holding back something maybe emotionally, emotional block, like I was saying. But this is definitely maybe somebody holding something back as well, as far as their emotions. Maybe with this new person that's interested in you, they're holding something back. They're holding their emotions back. All right, they want to date, but they might be holding something back here. Maybe trying to get out of a negative mindset. Okay, look, it's a completion here. There's a completion. The world, whatever text or whatever, you know, message that that you're waiting for, it's going to come through. All right, it's going to be a completion to it. All right, cycles are going to be, you know, met. New cycles coming through here. What is this? What's light? What's coming out of the dark here? What's Page of Pentacles? What is this? Page of Pentacles and coming out to the light with this. I feel like also for some of you, you know, new financial opportunities. Maybe for, you know, for some of you, you let some new financial opportunities, you know, get away from you because of these addictions, or somebody who's, you know, addicted to something. Or controlling. Maybe, you know, you lost an opportunity because this person was controlling. Getting that too here. Learning. Look. Again, something that you learned. Lighthearted. Finding out and change. Something that you found out. Definitely feeling tested with a situation. All right. Searching for knowledge. You're discovering some truth. Again. You know, you discovered some truth about something here. For sure. Clarity, you know, and truth. You're definitely learning something. Or for some of you, you're going back to school to learn something. All right. For some of you, you're going back to school, maybe for business, for financing. All right. For some of you, you're finding out some truth about something. And for some of you, you're definitely new job. Or you're going to school to learn something for this new job or something. Or feeling tested with the situation. You're finding out about something. All right. What's the Six of Swords here, Spirit? What's the Six of Swords? And this addiction. What is this? I just said that too. Wow. Thank you, Spirit. Exactly what I wanted. Death to an, all right, so we got sadness. That's right. For some of you, you know, whatever you had to let go, you're disappointed and depressed about, or whatever. It might be this person who was controlling and obsessive, and somebody could have had some kind of addictions here. All right, and you could be sad about learning about this, and you know you're depressed about it. You know, it's an unwelcome change that you didn't want. You know, but you know, marriage is next here. Finding out truth about, you know, clarity, determination here. You know, it's going to be somebody that, you know, that you've been married to. Attracting a long-term partner here, marriage life, a new partner may be divorced. But, you know, for some of you, you got clarity and truth and you're no longer negative and you're attracting now, you know, marriage. All right. Maybe a long-term partner. Maybe this partner may be divorced here, and you know, leadership. Here you go. People are jealous because you're in a leadership position. That's all. You know, and you might be shocked to find out about this. You know, you transformed, you know, whatever. Now here, high influence in business. This is you. High influence in business. You know your self-worth and value. You know, you're using logic over emotion, stepping into leadership role, and people are just jelly, all right, in competition with you about it, okay? And again, you might be shocked to learn this out, all right? Boundaries. You know, your boundaries were tested here. Okay, and it could have been with this Knight of Pentacles here. Could be an earth sign. Capricorn, Taurus, Virgo, the chaser guy. Yeah. You're not surrendering, you're standing your ground, you're staying true to yourself because you're rebuilding all right. You might be saving your money. You know, you're ready to take action to improve something. You're determined to, you know, and you're driven. Yeah, you're determined and driven about this new job and about rebuilding your life over again after the competition and all this stuff. Or maybe the person who had addictions or whatever. You're rebuilding your life after loss, though. All right, and that's probably why this came up. You're saving money. You're keeping your money tight to yourself. Maybe that's probably why, you know, for some of you, you know, you have to maybe save. You're not dating, and that's why Spirit is saying, you know, get out and date. But you're like, wait, I need to save money, okay? Good health. They're saying good health, and this is right under the world, okay? So they're saying, you know, work-life balance, all right? So you have to have a balance. All right, they want you to have good health. Routine checkups at the doctor, you know, changing your nutrition habits here. And then we had death and then the devil. Yeah, shedding required. And then again with the, you know, the devil, having upset addictions, all right, dependencies, materialistic. Maybe a bad financial habits are going on here. Again, I feel like somebody's, you know, has an addiction. It's going to be to anything: porn, food, whatever, pills, drugs, alcohol. But you know, you're moving away from this. You're moving away from all this. There's going to be a death to this, like an inevitable death that's going to happen. It's going to be a complete turnaround here, a completion of some sort, okay? What else do we have here? What is this here? What is this? What else? What is this? The learning, yeah, overshares. This person overshares. Something to do with, you know, this, maybe this Page of Pentacles feel like they're oversharing something here. For some of you, you need to like work in, you like to move in silence. Like, you know, don't say anything to anybody. Just, you know, keep things to yourself right now is the best thing, especially if you're starting a new job or something. Or if you're going back to school, just, you know, uh, move in silence. All right, crash and burn. Okay, this is under like this sadness and this addiction that you somebody's moving away from. Okay, somebody's moving away from. Crash and burn. Somebody crash and burned here, you know, with their addictions and their whatever, the maybe possessions and controlling or whatever the obsession and restraint was, but whatever codependency is here, somebody crashed and burned, and somebody was very sad about it, but somebody moved away from all that, moving into calmer waters. No, not holding any more grudges, but very depressed about this. But somebody definitely crashed and burned, and somebody's in regret about this, and, you know, unwelcome change because of it. Public embarrassment. There's some kind of public embarrassment happened here. Could have been with your, you know, either your new partner or your marriage, okay, or your marriage. December 20th this year. December 16th and 1971 is here. You can have a 17-year-old child or a teenager like that, somewhere in that age range, 16, 17. Okay, skating on thin ice. All right, somebody's, you know, this is your job. Somebody who's, you know, all jealous of you. You know, they're skating on thin ice. That's right. November 26th is here. You can be dealing with with a Scorpio. All right, you can be dealing with a Scorpio. Sagittarius, you know, somebody that's, you know, caught out there. Somebody got caught out there doing something, and you're standing your ground. That's right. And the first is here as well, aiding and abetting. 1970, 1971 is here. Something to do with those two numbers, aiding and abetting. Maybe somebody had some kind of gambling addictions here, okay? And something to do, now you're saving your money. Something to do with that, you know? Holding your money firm now. All right, because now you're rebuilding from some kind of loss. And it could be from, you know, from either gambling, or maybe you were aiding and abetting a person or somebody you know that was doing this. Okay, aiding and abetting a person in your circle anywhere. What grounds? What's the grounding here? What's the world with good health? And talking more. What is this? Control, alternate, delete, settling. The spirit doesn't want you to settle. They want you to they want you to control, alternate, delete. This person's no good for you. Whoever you're aiding and abetting here, you might be settling. You might be settling for somebody here. That's what grounds you. You might be settling. Spirit doesn't want you to settle, okay? Something's hitting me here. What is this? What is this here? You might be dealing with a Scorpio. You might be dealing with a Scorpio. Okay, again, you know, destructive feelings, risky behavior, dark energy, magic. All right, dark energy, magic. Again, I feel like, you know, dark energies. Yeah, I feel like somebody around you that's, you know, is jealous, you know, straight up. I'm going by what I feel right now. Straight up jealous, and, you know, for no reason, you know, for no reason. But you know, You know your value and self-worth. You're going to keep it pushing. You're not going to be dealing with all that right now. You know, you've been through enough, it looks like, with the having to rebuild. Maybe you spent your money on the wrong person or the wrong things, and you have to leave that behind here. But I feel for some of you, no more negative thinking. You're like, that's it. I'm done. I'm not going to be public to embarrassed anymore from this person. All right. So issue got out of control. Look at that. Issues got out of control. Fire, putting out fires. This is you putting out fires. You know, leaving stuff behind here. The addictions. Now you got to put out the fires, and then you have to rebuild your life now because somebody crashed and burned. All right. It was hard for you to control this problem too. All right, it was hard for you to control this problems, addictions. All right, maybe they caused you public embarrassment. All right, this can be a child that caused somebody a public embarrassment as well. Sewing machine, restoring a situation. There we go, restoring, rebuilding. Came out again, working hard to improve with your careful efforts. All right, you're restoring a situation, you're rebuilding. I'm telling you, somebody made you lose a lot of money or something to do maybe with emotions, or they were holding something back here. Be resourceful, they're saying. Be resourceful. No one can stand in your way now. Again, look, move in silence. A redhead is here. They're saying, shh, be quiet. All right, to be quiet. No one can stand in your way. Pursue your goals. But be quiet. They're saying, you know, there's jealous people around you. The Five of Wands, jealous. All right, competition, abusive relationships. All right, so that's what that is. Be resourceful. No one can stand in your way now. All right, you're a leader. All right, they're saying, you know your worth, your self-worth. It's going to be sudden changes. It's going to be shocking to you and stuff. Nobody, like, a lot of people don't like change, all right? Transformation, all that. But it's okay. It's not happening to you. It's happening for you. God is putting you in a better path, in a better way. It might be like, oh my God now, but you'll see why later, okay? They're putting you in a better light, a better position. So be resourceful, all right? Be resourceful, but be quiet. Move in silence. Don't tell anybody your moves, all right? There's people that are in competition with you. That lines up right in your heart chakra all together. So, yeah, all right? Recognition, role treatment, opportunity and wealth. There it is, castle. Opportunity and wealth. You're not, you're standing your ground. Somebody got caught out there. So you getting the role treatment with this person. Yeah, look, I can't have to show cheating. Her ass is all out. So I gotta cheating. All right, bad choices, third-party situation, trust issues, right in your love chakra. So that's why they're saying to get back out there. You might be holding your feelings back, and you might be keeping, your heart, close or whatever. But, you have to rebuild your life after loss, all right? And that can be emotionally and physically or, financially, all right? If this person was out there cheating, they made bad choices or whatever, move on. Don't worry. There's going to be trust issues, even if you do continue to move on with this person who cheated. You're always going to be like, are they cheating? Are they out there cheating? You know what? It's best just move on. If you found this out, Spirit is saying, just move on. They have something better for you. You don't need to feel like, you need to feel like a queen or a king. Somebody that makes you feel beautiful and makes you feel, wanted. You have to know your worth. That's what they're saying. Leadership, use your logic over emotions. Again, you hang around shit, you start to stink, you're gonna... What's the ground in here? To wrap up this reading, what's the grounding? Okay. Swing. All right, so back and forth attitude, hard time deciding, mood swings, yeah, settling, Yeah, Spirit saying is control, alternate, delete. Forget all that. You need to have a good health. You need to have good health. You know, you have to complete that cycle. All right? Complete that cycle. All right? No more back and forth. All right. Let me give you a spirit animal here. This is probably an animal that you're going to be seeing or you've been seeing. I got two here. A bear. You've probably been seeing bears, or you've been seeing caterpillars. All right? For some of you, if you feel like the world is about to end, oh my God, you know, just when the caterpillar thought it was about to, the world was going to end, it turned into a butterfly. All right? So transformation. This is you, guys. For some of you, you know, that's how you're feeling. Oh my God, the world's coming to an end. Don't. The world's not coming to an end. You know, you're transforming. You're becoming a butterfly. All right, baby? So evolution. It means evolution too. All right, so patience. Every step brings you closer to your transformation. Trust the process, and soon you'll be flying with the butterflies. All right? And your other one is bear. Bear. It means introspection. When confronting fears or testing boundaries, be bold, confident, and fearless in pursuing new experiences. There it is. Okay? I want you to have introspection. Be fearless. You know, other new experiences. Yeah, you know, nobody likes, again, the whole new things or whatever, but it's happening for a reason, okay? Something's coming to an end to bring you to something better, all right? The death card came out with that. Don't forget, your shedding, you know, is required. Big transformations are coming, all right? All right, this was your reading. I hope it resonated with you. Don't forget to like if it did, comment, share. Be kind to one another. Don't be mean, because mean people suck. Okay? I love you, Sagittarius. I'll see you soon. Peace out.